CJ here. Welcome to CJ's Kitchen. Today's going to be my first attempt at making kimchi. I usually buy it at my local Asian store, but I love it so much I decided to try to learn how to make it myself. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is give proper recognition to the proper people. I got this base recipe for kimchi off of a YouTube channel called Homeschool with Martha, and it's the episode with Christina Park and her mom. The link is going to be in the description. So if you get in the description, you'll see the link and you can click over to them and watch their video on their YouTube channel. Instead of going through every single item on the ingredients list, I'm just going to hold the sheet up to the phone here. You can pause it, take a snapshot of it. Now we want to get our Napa cabbages split into fours, I should say. Now bear with me, this is my first attempt at it, so I know it's probably not going to go like the video goes. But I seen they scored it, and then they rip them apart. Oh, there we go. Nice. That worked out good. I'll split it at the top of the head, and then pull it apart. It's perfect. Lay them in our pot. Now that we got the Napa cabbages pulled apart into fours, we're going to wash them off. So we're going to give them a good rinsing. In between the leaves, just rinse them out real good. And then throw them in your colander. Now that we have our cabbages washed off, now we're going to start treating our cabbages with salt. Spreading it in between the leaves. Be very liberal with this, because you're going to end up putting all the salt in there anyway. Just trying to get it in between all the leaves. And you want to do that to every piece of cabbage. Now that we have the cabbages all saturated with salt in our bowl, with the rest of the salt, we made a salt brine, and we want to pour it slowly over all the cabbages. And we're going to keep doing that until the cabbages are all covered. Now that we have our Napa cabbages submerged in our salt brine water, we're going to let this soak for 2 hours. To help keep the cabbages submerged under the water, I put a couple heavy plates on top of it so it completely stays immersed in water. While our cabbages are soaking, we're going to start our binder, our flour mixture, and we want to bring it to a boil. The original recipe didn't state how much water, it just said a pot of water. So I just started off with 2 cups. So we'll go ahead and mix our flour in here. Start mixing it up and stirring, and we want to bring that to a boil. Half a cup of flour. Now that we got our binder, our flour mixture to a boil, we're going to take it off the heat and set it to the side and let it cool. Also, just a heads up, I had to add another cup of water, so you need to start out with 3 cups of water for your flour mixture for your binder. It got too thick on me, so 3 cups looks just right. So we're going to set it to the side, let it cool. While our flour mixture is cooling, we're going to go ahead and get our garlic cut up and our yellow onion. And get it cleaned up. And get it ready for the blender. We'll be blending the garlic and the yellow onion in the blender with our flour binder mixture. Now that we got our garlic all nice and cleaned up, let's work on our yellow onion. Get it chopped up. Get it ready to process in the blender with the flour mixture. Now that we got our yellow onion cut up and prepped, our garlic's prepped, our flour mixture is cooled and ready to go. I put a little bit of flour mixture. I'm using a magic bullet. It's like a ninja. Can't find my full-size blender, so we might have to do this in like 2 or 3 sessions, but a little bit of flour mixture in there. We're going to take some onion and pile it in there. I know it ain't all going to fit in there. Then we're going to take some garlic and pile it in there. Put our lid on and start blending. Now that our cabbages have been setting for 2 hours, we want to rinse them off as much as we can. Try to get as much salt brine out of it as possible. Empty our bowl out here. Dump all that salt brine out of it. Fill your bowl back up with water. Make sure to flush these cabbages out real good. And then put them in your colander to drain. What I like best about kimchi as far as health-wise is it's awesome for the gut health and digestive tract health. It keeps me regular. I don't have to worry about my digestive tract. Now that we have our cabbages salt brine washed off, we have it in the colander setting and draining. Let's get the rest of our vegetables chopped up. Now while our cabbages are draining, let's get our our green onions chopped up. And we'll go ahead and toss them in our bowl, our mixing bowl. Our green onions are cut up and in our mixing bowl. Now let's work on the radishes. It called for a Korean radish. I couldn't find a Korean radish, so I just used regular radishes. And it'll work just fine. Now that we have our radishes all sliced up and processed, let's put them in our bowl with our green onion. Now let's work on our carrot and get it chopped up. Now let's work on getting our carrot sliced up. Now that we got our carrot cut up and sliced up, let's add it to our pot with our radishes and our green onions. Let's go ahead and add our flour binder with our, we had yellow onion in here and we had garlic in here, blended up. Go ahead and pour that in there. And since I didn't have a big blender, we had to do 2 passes with the flour mixture and the onion. So I'm going to pour the rest of it in here and then get it blended up. Now that we have our rest of our flour mixture mixed up with our garlic and onion mixture, we got it all used up. Pour the rest of it in there. That'll be our binder. Now we add 1.5 cups of gochujang, which is pretty much red chili pepper flakes, but it's called gochujang. Then we'll add 1/2 cup of fish sauce. I have no experience with fish sauce, so this is my first use of fish sauce, but this is what I got. I get almost all my products from the local Asian store, but you can probably get them from any store, any local store. Now, next thing we want to do is I'm going to cut our cabbages into 2-inch pieces. When I pull the cabbages out of the colander, they're pretty much drip dried off, but I give them a little squeeze down to try to squeeze as much excess off as I can. But we're going to cut these into 2-inch pieces and then throw them in our mixing bowl. And then the head of it, I'm not going to put in the pot. And just throw it in the bowl. Something I forgot to add is red pepper paste. I like my stuff a little spicy. So from the Asian store, I got some hot pepper paste. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in. I've never used it before, so crossing my fingers that I don't make it too hot. I'm just going to put 2 pretty much heaping tablespoons of that in there. I know when we added the red pepper flakes from before, I said it was gochujang. I think I might have got them mixed up. Those were red pepper flakes. This hot pepper paste is actually called gochujang on the container. So I probably got those messed up. I'm sorry if I apologize if I did, but this is the gochujang, the hot pepper paste. Now that we have all of our product in the bowl, now is the fun part, mixing it all up. Make sure you put on some gloves, and this we're going to go through and mix this by hand. We're going to keep mixing it until it's all nice and saturated and mixed well together. That binder's working really good. Look at that. I wish you could smell it through the phone. It smells so good. I'm going to keep on mixing it until it's well incorporated. Now that we got it well mixed, look at that color. Don't it look amazing? It smells amazing. Now that we got it well incorporated and mixed up, let's put it in our fermentation container. Hopefully it all fits in here. Now that I have it all packed in my fermentation container, don't it look amazing? We're going to put our airtight lid on it. And we're going to push the airtight lid all the way down until no air comes out. And then lock our lid. This is what it looks like inside there. So it's going to keep all the air out of there. And then we're going to let it set out on the shelf. I got this fermentation container off of Amazon. I believe it's called Next Gen, but this is the container that I'm using. Also, the big stainless steel bowl, which I have to wash now. But this is a 20-quart bowl. I got it off of Amazon also. But we're going to leave this. I'm going to leave this set out on the counter. I'm going to start for a few days. I'm going to go for a few days, and then I'm going to taste it and see what it tastes like. I'm going to leave it out until, to me, it tastes the way I want it to taste. I'm not sure how long that is yet. I do believe from the YouTube channel that I guess kimchi lasts 5 to 6 months in the refrigerator. And then once you're done with the fermentation process, you leave it set out on your counter or whatever. And once it's to where you want it, and then you put it in the refrigerator. In the cold refrigerator, the fermentation process stops or slows way down. So thank you very much for stopping by CJ's Kitchen. I hope you learned something. I know I did, but this is the first time of making kimchi. I'm going to adjust my recipe as I go, as I taste it. And then also I may add or take away vegetables in the next time. So everyone have a great day. CJ out.